Hello everyone and welcome back. So in the previous lecture, we have got a grasp of what software is. So why not take a look at how software is created? So software is created as a product of a well-structured and planned process called the Software Development Lifecycle, or SDLC for short. This process involves a series of steps such as planning, designing, coding, testing, etc. So let's dive into some of the steps of the software development process. A good way of representing how software gets developed is by giving an example. So let's assume that a professor who looks like Einstein has an idea for a mobile app through which he may give his students assignments. With this tool, he and his students should be able to communicate more effectively and facilitate sending and checking assignments. Now, of course, you know for sure that a professor cannot write a software by himself. So he got in touch with a software development startup to help him bring his idea to life. He meets with a person who identifies himself as the product owner. The product owner is the primary point of contact on behalf of the customers to identify the product requirements for the development team. The product owner wants to give the professor a glimpse of what is going to happen from this point ahead. So let's hear what the product owner said to the professor.
Hello, Professor. My name is Alex. I occupy a position called Product Owner. A product owner is your representative within the development team. My primary goal is to maximize the outcome you are getting out from this project. So I want you to know that I will do everything in my power to meet your expectations. So allow me to tell you in a couple of minutes how the development process looks within our organization. Step number 1 is always the requirement gathering phase. We will sit down together and I will listen to your needs, Professor, before discussing what is and what is not applicable. Following our agreement, we will create a list of requirements representing the features you desire in your application. Next, we will move to the second step, which is the system design. Once we have a firm grasp of the specifications, Professor, we will design the software's architectural framework, break the system into smaller components or units, and specify how these parts will interact with one another. To accomplish this, we will use UML diagrams and flowcharts. The third step is the coding step. We call it implementation. This is the actual undertaking of the software. Our skillful programmers write the code using Java programming language. This is our expertise. They follow the best coding standards and best practices to ensure the code is clean, readable, and maintainable. This is an iterative process where developers continuously write, test, and refine their code. Step number 4 is the testing phase. So once the code is written, it goes through rigorous testing. Our quality assurance engineers test the software to identify any bugs or defects. The aim is to guarantee that the software performs as intended, behaves as anticipated, and complies with the specified requirements. Testing includes non-functional testing, which assesses performance, security, and usability of your software, as well as functional testing, which verifies specific features. And of course, Professor, you would be invited to attend the user acceptance testing session with us to see how everything looks. When you agree, Professor, on the final look and feel of the app, we will proceed to the deployment step in which your idea will come to life. and your students can start using your app right away. Also, you should be aware that we provide maintenance and support services after the release of the software. This includes fixing reported bugs, updating, adding new features, and improving the system based on users' feedback. This step ensures that your software is always reliable, secure, and up to date.
I believe the professor will be very impressed with this team. They are well organized and appear to know what they are doing. So, without a doubt, I expect him to sign the contract with them. So, here you have it. I hope this lecture provided you with a thorough understanding of the software development process. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below and I will make sure to answer them as quickly as possible. So that marks the end of this lecture. Please take care and I'll see you on the next one.